Hello and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the RPG A Day 2021 edition. This video, it's all about group. The RPG A Day 2021 edition is an initiative that was started 8 years ago by Dave Chapman, Mr. Autocratic. And in this initiative, we basically talk about role-playing games on a set of subjects every single day during the month of August. And there's a plethora of blog posts, podcast episodes, and videos, and Twitter threads, and Facebooks, and all sorts of things going on. And you should take a look because some people are doing incredible stuff. So let's talk about groups. Groups is something that quite frankly are not always taken into account. I talked about this in the previous episodes and yesterday because we don't think about the group dynamics very often, and that is quite important. Sometimes you will read in some books how they talk about the likes and dislikes of one clan or species to another. Vampire does that very well. Right now I'm reading Talislanta and it does exactly the same thing. You know, these people get along very well with so and so and so. They think blah 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 about these other people and they hate these other people. So if there is somebody in the group like that, then there can be a little bit of conflict. There can be a little bit of something else going on in there. That, unfortunately, is not always translated into the adventures that we read for the same games. Yeah, sorry, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. We tend to look at species or races, don't like that word, and we stay there, that's it, done. But we don't look into professions, we don't look into whether somebody is from a place in the world or another, and how cultural differences may have an impact. We don't really think about that one, and it is very true that covering every single angle in an adventure would be very hard. But this is something that we can give some pointers to. For example, I'm running right now, Snow of an Early Winter by Lou Agresta is Call of Cthulhu adventure that came out about 11 years ago, and it is very, very good. During that adventure, there are certain events that are very cruel that you have to warn your players because it includes animal cruelty. Now, that animal cruelty comes because there is a cult behind it that is performing all sorts of things. And in the adventure is presented a dichotomy of whether they should be allowed to continue because it's their religious belief, or if they should stop. That could give a very interesting approach because some of the characters may decide that, you know what, freedom above all, whereas others could be thinking, no, animal welfare above all. There is another adventure that springs to mind written by the near perfect Sarah Newton, which allow me to grab. Which is Hearts and Minds. Why do I like this adventure for Mindjammer, and why do I think it's important? Because in this adventure, the group of people are going to get into a planet. That planet has a revolution being started, and they're going to be exposed to 3 opportunities. You know, I love the rule of 3. Always have 3 ways of ending something, 3 possibilities of doing something, 3 ways of solving a problem. But anyway, that's for another video. But here you get 3 choices. You can join one of the factions, you can join the rebels, so to speak, you can join the commonality, or you can try and remain neutral. Either way, different people in the group can try and decide something else. There might be people in the group that will want to have something to do with the natives of the planet, whereas other people in the group, the players, may decide, no, we belong to the commonality, we should be imposing this. Whereas other people would say, this is nothing to do with us, we weren't sent here for this. Our mission is that. That is what I'm talking about. That is the kind of group dynamics that I don't see often enough, and I don't see people thinking about them often enough. And I feel it's very, very important to keep them in mind, because if you assume that all players are going to always have the same goals in mind, then the whole thing becomes very linear, and I don't like that. I want plenty of opportunities to bicker. I want loads of opportunity to discuss, to have to compromise on what is going to be done. It's like playing a Call of Cthulhu game in which somebody is a priest and somebody else is an atheist. That's going to add some richness. That's going to be wonderful. So when you think about groups next time, don't just think about your players, think about the characters, how they interact, and what group dynamic they follow. Because if you can touch into that, yeah, you're in for a treat. I'll talk to you tomorrow.